has been a long 9 months, but the wait is finally over. Arizona high school football is back. And tonight, our matchup, the runner-up state in the 6A title game, Red Mountain Mountain Lions facing off against the Mesa Jackrabbits hosting at home. Good evening, everyone. Alongside Nate Smith, I'm Zach Warhack. Nate, it's been an eventful off-season. I know you've been boots on the ground. It looks like we have Red Mountain set to kick off to Mesa at home, being out at practices, chatting with coaches. What kind of intel do you have from the side of Red Mountain for us?
I got to say, there's a lot Red Mountain can really add on after a phenomenal season like last year. There's really not a whole lot you can do. You just got to keep pushing, you got to keep fighting, and it all begins right here against Mesa. Now, Mesa, they've been phenomenal the past couple of seasons, and it all started with their upset against Corona del Sol and with the Aztecs. And I got to say, this team has been bought in ever since then. They've been competing hard ever since the 7-on-7 tournaments.
Mesa does face a lot of adversity tonight. Their starting quarterback, or who was, Nico Fitzgerald, broke his fibula during the offseason, so they'll be trotting out Adric Reed. He's been a quarterback on both the freshman and JV side of things, but he'll be playing both ways tonight. So Adric Reed, he's going to have to use that conditioning work that they had all offseason to do. Both sides of the ball, it's such a challenge. Brandon Gallegos sets up, takes his steps back, and is ready to get the Arizona high school football season underway for these two teams.
Gorgeous weather.
A little bit windy out there, and it's helping Gallegos with the kickoff as he sends it down. And a little bit of physicality, the early hit from Jackson White, even though the ball was dead and out of the end zone. He wanted to get his first pop in, get a little bit of feel, set the tone early, no flags on the play. We got a good crew tonight, led by Joel Seawald. So a touchback to start things off, and we'll see what Mesa can do with their backup quarterback at the 20.
As I was saying before the kickoff, this Mesa team has been competing at a high level. They won the NAU tournament up north, 2 points away from winning the ACU tourney. Lost to Basher in the quarterfinals during the ASU tournament. From a 7-on standpoint, these guys are hard working. However, does it all correlate to the football field here tonight?
A little bit of a different look defensively for Red Mountain to start the season. 5 DBs being trotted out, and they'll be worked upon. You see the back line, Anthony Gamba, Chayton Jennings, Jacob Redwing, Logan Haney, and Isaac Haney all out there with a 3-man front and 3 in the middle, led by Jamison Wade. Just a stellar young linebacker. Jamison Wade, a sophomore last season, 84 tackles, 63 assisted, 21 solo. Just a really talented player.
Now the sky is the limit for number 13. I mean, he's really the leader in the back end. Along with that, you have Jacob Redwing. He was a linebacker last year, and he's now playing defensive back. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he can do on that side of the ball.
Really not too many new faces on the defensive side for Red Mountain as they keep a lot of their players in an early flag false start on Mesa, and that'll back up the drive to begin with.
Way to start, Chad. Way to start.
Not an ideal start for the Mesa Jackrabbits.
Early movement that time from Ian Stevenson. Adric Reed looks to get the cadence going as we wait for the first tick to come off the clock. Motion and a fake, and it goes up the middle, and a nice tackle made. Cole Edmonds, first one in on the stop for Red Mountain.
Yeah, he stepped up on the line and they motioned again.
A nice host of Mountain Line defenders there to make the stop.
That's something that Kyle Enders preaches day in and day out at practice, is just the physicality and the group tackling that you see. The linebacking core has not taken a step back despite losing Champ Jennings, who graduated just last season.
Yeah, Champ Jennings, Carson Mauder, just to name a few. And Jamison Wade, he's really had some great leaders to look up to.
Quick pass this time, Yamamoto on the screen, and he gets swarmed up. Edmonds back in on the tackle, and Mesa just looked to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard shy, it brings up 3rd and 11.
Getting back to Jamison Wade, he's really had some good leaders to look up to, like Taylor DeMassa, Parker McClure, Champ Jennings, and Carson Mauder, just to name a few.
Two brings the ball to the 19-yard line. 3rd and 11.
A big third down opportunity for Red Mountain to get off the field early and give their offense a shot. Substitution late from Mesa as Rio Arnett steps off the field, and they have their 11 out there. Just over a minute and a half gone in the first as Reed awaits the snap. Brock Miller plays on the outside, and it's a keeper from Reed as he tries to go up the middle, and he's swallowed up. 3 tackles in 3 plays on the opening drive for Cole Edmonds, the junior backer.
It's a 3-and-out to start the
Making the
game
stop
for the
was number
Mountain
2,
Lions.
Anthony Gamba. No gain on the play, brings up, correction, gain of 1, brings the ball to the 20-yard line. 4th and 10 for
You guys
Mesa.
know, watching the pregame, left footed, you want to go ahead.
4th and 10 now for Mesa as they look to punt it away, and it'll be good field position for Red Mountain to start this return set up at the 50.
Back in punt formation is number 88, Evan Romero.
Red Mountain show pressure, and they wait back off. Romero handles the high snap.
It is a short punt.
Gets a good roll out of it, and it comes out across the 40 and towards midfield, and Red Mountain will start the drive from right about the 47, and we'll see what this team is set up to do. Simon Lopez will trot out with his offense, the senior quarterback returning from just a season ago. The story really for this team was just injuries at the quarterback position. It started with Kyle Heap early on last year with the shoulder injury. Simon went through a little bit of a stint himself with a hamstring. Now everyone is all healthy. That's something that Coach Enders talked about in the offseason. And prior to this game, he says, look, our biggest mission more than anything is to stay healthy this year.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks like Jamison Wade is getting some offensive reps here.
Interesting look as he goes out in the slot on the opposite side, mirroring him, Bodie Wagner, big senior receiver I'm highlighting for the season for Red Mountain. Lopez gets the snap and he goes right to B-Dub. B-Dub has a blocker set up and picks up a nice gain right about the first down marker.
Pass is complete to number 11.
And he'll be a yard shy, so a nice first play of the season for B-Dub's gain of 9.
Yeah, they lined up Jamison Wade in the far slot position, and then they shifted him into more like a Mike Allstott type fullback.
How old are you, Nate?
I'm 18.
That's a name to pull out, a Mike Allstott. My goodness.
He's a little past my lifetime, but
But you know the guy. It was one play for Jamison Wade as he goes off to the sideline, replaced by Paxton Thorstad now. And in the slot, Arian Wyndham, just a sophomore, but really talented. Good route runner, quick off the ball, and has some breakaway speed. Lopez this time to give to Jackson Bogle as he finds the edge and lowers the shoulder. And it's been all positive yardage for Red Mountain early on this drive.
Give us to number 21,
good blocks from the Red Mountain offensive line. 3 out of their 5 starters returned last year. Josh Lee being one of them. Weston Hancock, the UNLV, offered, and Yos Anuis.
For the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, you know, those are some big names that you bring up there. Also adding on to the left side there, Jackson Griffin, just a big body, 6'6", already has an offer from NAU as well, and they line up tight at the line, empty set for Lopez. Lopez back to pass over the middle, and he finds Wyndham, who shows that speed, gets out to the middle of the field, and Red Mountain dissecting Mesa early on. And a little bit hattered on the far sideline. It does look like Bodie Wagner coming up limping. Something for us to monitor as Red Mountain go up-tempo.
14 brings the ball to the 18-yard line.
Give him a little bit of a breather. I think he's going to come back later in this game.
Yeah, it looked like he was favoring that right ankle. He's getting checked on right now. Hopefully nothing serious. Lopez out of the pistol. He goes to Bogle again. Stutter step back to the inside, and he picks up a few. You know, I'm having a little bit of deja vu right now. This is a rematch of the opening game last season against Mesa. And in that time, before Isaiah Savoy was eligible at running back for Red Mountain, they had Carson Mouter out to start the season for them. Bogle kind of looks like Mouter out there. A little bit of a bruiser, going, hitting the A-gap, and just running with it.
Yeah, it looks like I've seen this type of game before.
They continue to pound the rock as Bogle back up the middle, and they try to work that line play. I know you talked about the returners a couple of plays ago for that line. The big loss this season for Red Mountain, Gabe Romero with the ACL. He was going to be an integral part to that line all season long, and it's just something where you have to adapt early and often in the season.
Yeah, Gabe Romero, he's really the anchor of the offensive line. Just a big body. He's really hard to move, but when he gets a hold of somebody, he's not letting them go.
Third down and short. Lopez goes back to Bogle, cuts back, and he meets up with the secondary. I think he has enough to get across. Cameron Williams had the initial contact and was able to pull him down, but not before the first down.
Great second effort by Bogle.
Really good first drive for Red Mountain here. It's 1st and goal from the 4. And Bodie Wagner back out in the huddle. So good to see. As we talked about, staying healthy is just the important thing at this point in the season. Kind of taking those initial hits, getting the body warmed back up to game speed and contact, and everyone's all out and healthy now.
They got Wade lined up in the heavy set. They might run it his way. He's been a great blocker on this drive.
Wagner in motion. Lopez fakes to him, goes back to Bogle, and almost untouched into the end zone. The first one of the season for Red Mountain belongs to Jackson Bogle.
As I said, Bogle just ran up the side where Jamison Wade was, and Jamison just pretty much paved the way right through, almost untouched.
So it's a 4-yard rushing touchdown for Jackson Bogle, and a good start to his Red Mountain career. Mountain View transfer, but a solid player.
On to attempt the extra point is number 22, Rock Miller.
Extra point up and through. It's Michael Singh to put it through, and it's a 7-0 lead early on the road for Red Mountain. 6 minutes left in the first, and we'll step away on RMTV.
Remember, fans, the snack stand on both sides of the field is open. They would appreciate your patronage. And on the home side of the field, make sure to visit Happy Time
Cattle corn.
Deep for the Jackrabbits is number 2, Cameron Williams, as well as number 14, Kelvin Holland. Kicking off for the Mountain Lions is number 46, Brandon Gallegos.
Just over a 4-minute scoring drive capped off by a Jackson Bogle touchdown for Red Mountain, and that's everything you want to see early on if you're an RM fan, Nate.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, opening drive touchdown, you want to set the tone early.
This time an opportunity for a return, but it's stymied as Williams stepped back into the end zone, and Mesa will get another crack at it from the 20 for their second drive of the game. The first one a 3-and-out, and it really just showed true the pressure that Red Mountain can apply defensively, both in the run game and in the pass defense. That linebacking core has been key throughout the history of a Kyle Enders team since 2022.
It's really one of our strong suits. I mean, Red Mountain has been linebacker high school, honestly.
Reed sets up in the pistol for the snap and sends Yamamoto in motion. They go back up the middle, and it's an early tackle just to gain a 2. Holland on the carry that time around, able to get some positive yardage.
Making the stop was number 13.
Going to rely a lot on the run. They maybe do a little bit of a flea flicker, I suppose. Try attacking the safeties, make sure they get a little bit of work in. Try to get the Lions to bite on a run or two.
Yeah, it's really tough. When I talked to Mesa head coach Chad DeGreener prior to the game, he just said it's really hard, and we're going to see what Adric can do at quarterback. But when Nico has taken tens of thousands of reps in the offseason and been implemented in the offense, and then you lose him at such a critical point, it's hard to see what you can rely upon offensively with the scheme and the game plan. But Adric has been good for him. He's been a freshman quarterback, JV quarterback, knows the game, knows how to play the position, and it's just translating it to the field now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at the quarterback position, I mean, anything can happen. Realistically, anything can happen. It's the first quarter. There's still a lot of game left to go.
Yeah, we'll see how much the playbook opens up here. I think Mesa really just trying to get under their feet here early and often, establishing the run game as they have 3rd and 6 upcoming, and it looks like an empty set for Reed this time around.
How about Mesa?
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication. The play clock was winding down to 0. So with 4:41 left, down 7-0, Mesa take their first timeout of the half, so they'll have 2 remaining here. And it's just something where you're really knocking the cobwebs off on all levels, both with coaches, players, understanding the play clock, getting the play, getting back out onto the field if you're having to chase back and forth from the sideline.
Yeah, and especially for new coaches, culture shock, getting acclimated to the new environment. Like new coaches for Red Mountain, they're trying to adapt to the traditions, sort of drinking out of a fire hose, trying to really get adapted to the environment.
Yeah, it's something where you can just build that chemistry and the bond between yourself as a coaching staff and the players to really become a team. And that's what you want at this level and that feel, and that's what everyone's trying to get, as they all share that common goal of fighting all the way to a state title. Red Mountain, they fell to Saguaro in that game just a season ago, 40-20, but it's a new slate, a fresh look, and they have the opportunity to get right back there.
Absolutely. Got trips to the near side.
Kelvin Holland in the backfield this time. And a little bit of miscommunication with him and Reed. Reed across his body, and that one picked off on the backside. Jacob Red Wing, he has some room to work with on the return. Red Wing has some speed, pick 6. He reached it across and it was punched out. The initial signal is a touchdown and a pick 6 for Jacob Red Wing.
The linebacker converted defensive back. His first touch is a pick 6.
On to attempt the extra point.
My goodness.
12, Michael Singh.
Great vision from Red Wing in the secondary. He kind of saw the play breaking down from the beginning, and then it was just a throw on the run across the body opposite way from Reed. Great ball skills up in the air by Red Wing. He picks up his first pick of the season, and it's a pick 6. Extra points, 2 for 2 for Singh, so he's been perfect as Red Mountain lose Kai Evans to graduation, the kicker last season. Kai was good from all distances. He had a long of 42 last year, so it was kind of interesting to see what they would implement in the kicking game. And when I talked to Enders, he said that Singh's going to be in for those short yardage extra pointers. If they want to try a deep field goal, it's going to be Brandon Gallegos.
Yeah, both of them are very talented. I like having that variability. Really helps out the Lions there. You got one guy doing this, you got one guy doing that.
It's been a really hot start for Red Mountain here. 4:27 left in the first quarter, up 14-0, and both sides of the ball have contributed to that score. Started with a Jackson Bogle rushing touchdown, and now a pick 6 for Jacob Red Wing. Gallegos just trying to get the ball on the tee right now. We mentioned the wind a little bit earlier. I think that time he just kind of heel tapped it when he was pacing his steps off there.
It's calmed down a little bit, luckily. The first punt by Mesa was also affected by the wind.
Gallegos has it helping on the kickoff. It's been 2 touchbacks so far. This time it's a return. Mesa looking to get a little bit of a spark plug in the return game. A flag flies deep as Cameron Williams reaches the 18.
Looked to be a tripping call.
Was number 9, Kai Jackson.
Leading ball in the back.
Illegal block called against Mesa.
So that block in the back things up for Mesa, and it's tough. You want to have decent field position as you've struggled on your first 2 drives of the game, started with a 3 and out and then a pick 6 when you're trying to convert a first down. And instead of that touchback and being out at the 20, They're inside their own 10.
Penalty moves the ball to the 8-yard line. 1st and 10.
This does not make it easier on Adric Reed.
At quarterback is number 8, Adric Reed.
Reed with the give, and a little bit of a slip through that time. Initial stop made on the D-line by Brandon Saddleoff as he plays that right edge well. Just a 3-man front for Red Mountain as we kind of dissect that defense a little bit further. We know last year they like to have kind of a 4-man front, play a lot of stems at the line, early motion to see what they could do, confusing quarterbacks with the cadence, whatever it may be with the motion in the offense. But a different look here, successful so far tonight.
Really dominating the front 7. I mean, the offensive line just seems to not have an answer for. Oh my!
Quick pass that time, stymied. And a big hit blown up on the far side of the field with a big tackle by Tyreek Cornett, the junior.
Making the stop was number 0, Tyreek Cornett.
He comes all the way from New York for this squad.
Coast to coast, or nearly coast to coast.
9-yard line.
Yeah, we don't make it far enough to the water out here in Arizona, but still pretty long trip for him and making an impact early on this team.
Absolutely. Great to have him here in this great program.
Back to 3rd and long for Mesa. They'll need 9 and make it all the way out to the 18 to pick up the first.
Red Mountain sending the house on this one.
Reed with the keep. He breaks a couple tackles, spins out a 2, and not enough to reach the line to gain. A big stop that time by Chayton Jennings.
Tell you what, Jamison Wade almost had a hand on him. Almost had the first sack of the season for him.
Gain of 4 brings the ball to the 13-yard line.
Special teams unit comes back out for Mesa as they'll punt this one back.
Formation is number 8.
As Cornett sets back to return this time at the 40. Romero from his own end zone. Just about 10 minutes gone in this first quarter as we eclipse the 2-minute mark. Red Mountain bring the pressure this time. High punt towards the Red Mountain sideline. Cuts out close to the 30. We'll see what the spot is, but regardless, good field position for Red Mountain. Just their second offensive drive of the game upcoming.
Kick goes out of bounds at around the 29-yard line. First and 10 for the Red Mountain.
If you're Mesa, you gotta get a good stop here, force a field goal, force some type of a field goal miss, or get a turnover to swing this game around.
Yeah, it's just tough from a conditioning aspect. So many guys playing both ways. You see Griffin Yamamoto out there playing linebacker, Reed out at safety. These guys haven't had a chance to catch a breath yet.
Absolutely.
Lopez out of the gun to start this drive from the 29. Wagner comes in motion, sets up on the near side, and he comes across the formation and picks up the pass out of the backfield. That's going to be a horse collar. And they say he gets the back of the jersey. It looked like Wagner got dragged down from inside the pads there, but regardless, the stop made there by Reed.
Pretty close call, but I got to say our view from the booth isn't as good as the view from the refs.
Gain of 3 brings the ball to the 26-yard line. 2nd and 7.
Close call there.
Yeah, they see it well down there. The crew headed by Joel Seawald getting their first action of the season. Clock winding down, could be the first or the last play of the first quarter rather. 2-back set this time around with Lopez. And he'll go to Bogle up the right side, and he gets set up in the backfield and brought down. Good stop early by Rio Arnett.
On the carry was number 21, Jackson Bogle. Making the stop was number 18, Rio Arnett.
So 3rd and short upcoming for Red Mountain. Just 15 seconds left on the game clock here. We'll see if they want to get one off.
Brings the ball to the 22-yard line. 3rd and 3.
I think they're just going to let the clock run out this time.
Yeah, Lopez seems to be taking his time. 2 seconds left. And they wait it out. The whistle goes. And it's the end of the first here on RMTV. A 14-0 lead for Red Mountain. And we'll step away. Zach Warhack and Nate Smith back with you on RMTV to start the second quarter. It's a 14-0 lead for Red Mountain, and they're driving, but third down and short upcoming as the team switch sides.
Two backs here. Watch out for the run.
Lopez keeps it himself up the middle, and we've seen the dual threat quarterback at work last season. And here he is again, first one of the year. Simon Lopez punches it in.
Give a lot of credit to Bodie Wagner. He had a great block on the outside. As a receiver, you're not only supposed to catch the rock, you're supposed to block for the guy with the rock.
Coaches love that kind of play, huh? A guy who will do it all, get dirty in the run game and be able to be a burner as well.
I mean, that was a straight-up pancake.
So Lopez finished the season with 11 touchdowns on the ground a year ago. He picks up his first tonight against Mesa.
Number 12, Michael Singh attempting the extra point.
Singh with his third extra point of the night goes up, goes through, and it's a 21-0 lead for Red Mountain as they've been perfect on both their drives.
Red Mountain 21, Mesa 0.
One play, one score for the Mountain Lions in the second quarter.
Yeah, there hasn't really been much going wrong on the side of Red Mountain. They've been executing really well. I know the coaches, they'll always find something to improve upon and nitpick about, but it's been a hot start for this offense. They've only had the 2 drives, but apart from that, the defense has been solid as well, pitching a shutout.
Yeah, there's really not a lot you can say, but the coach's job is to coach. You know, they're always looking for ways to improve the team as a whole.
Everything implemented in the off-season, the camps, the hard work, grinding the film, everything you see from the 7-on-7 tournaments that everyone's participated in. I know you talked about everyone going up north to Flagstaff, participating in everything that happens there at NAU, my alma mater. So these guys are ready to go. They've been chomping at the bits for the past 9 months, and it's just good to get things underway.
Yeah, Coach Enders used to always say 7-on-7 really is just preseason football. Right, at 7-on-7, you don't see a lot of the defensive line or you don't see a lot of the offensive line. You see more of the receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, and then here's where it all comes together right here.
We see it in another flag here on the return for Mesa. Kelvin Holland had a few nice moves, but it's going to be backed up for the second time in a row due to a block in the back, as Mesa just continue to get pinned in their own end.
Another penalty for Mesa. Backs them up even further.
Yeah, it makes it hard to get anything started when you just keep sitting back in your own end of the field and you got to go 90 to get anything.
At quarterback is number 8, Adric Reed.
They start this drive pinned again inside the 10 at the 9 as Reed sets up with Kelvin Holland in the backfield. A good runner when he gets into open space. He showed it there on that kick return, but brought back due to the penalty. Holland gets the give this time, tries to come up the middle, not much room as a swarm of Red Mountain defenders in on the tackle.
Just a lot of high motor plays from that defensive line of Red Mountain.
James McGee, the first one in that time around at nose tackle. Really high promise for him, and when I talked to Kyle Enders earlier in the week in our meeting, he said that it's all going to kind of run through him at the nose. He's going to stay there predominantly throughout the season, and on the edge is where things will switch. You'll see Junior Nixon, you'll see Brandon Saddleoff. You also see some of those O-line guys switch over to D-line, where you see someone like Josh Lee or Yosanese get in on the action. Flag flies prior to the snap. It goes against Red Mountain, so Mesa get a little bit of that penalty yardage back from the kick return.
5-yard penalty brings the ball to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, as a defensive lineman, you really got to be disciplined. It's not when the quarterback says hike. You got to watch the ball. Stay disciplined.
Second down and 6 upcoming for Mesa. Reed sets up in the pistol and a lead back out as well. This time the give up the middle and met again by Cole Edmonds, who stands things up, and then it's kind of a rugby scrum, but a nice pickup of a couple by Estep. And it'll be 3rd down and 2 upcoming.
Number 1, Cole Edmonds.
Third and short here, I'd be expecting the run.
3rd and 2.
Mesa's kind of been able to get it going, got some positive yardage on a few plays back-to-back. I think kind of getting the bruiser back there in the backfield, Ezekiel Estep, rather than Kelvin Holland, who's a little bit better in open space. But Red Mountain starting to stem at the line and look to bring pressure. They go back to Estep, run right at Wade, and it'll depend on the spot. It looks like it's about a yard short. So one of our linesmen sets it short, the other one wants to wave the chains forward, and the ultimate decision is a 1st down. So the first down of the game for Mesa comes with 9:40 left in the second, and they're starting to get that offense rolling with the run game.
Defensive backs got to stay alert, though. Watch out for the pass.
Yeah, Darius Howard at the top of the screen is an absolute burner. Set up right now up against Isaac Haney. They go with the run back to Estep up the middle, and there's the push at the end of it. Second effort to get some more yardage, and there's a little bit of a spark plug in life in this offense for Mesa.
Making a stop was number 13, Jamison Wade, as well as number 58.
This is a team where they get it done on the ground. It's always hard when you graduate a majority of your offensive threats, and that's exactly what Mesa have done. Junior St. Cyr, the leading rusher last season with close to 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. You also lose Makai Peters and Jeroy Hardwick, so filling those gaps early on in the season and finding who fits where, really important for this team.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's still the first game. You have a lot of time to iron out the cracks.
On the carry was number 42, Ezekiel Estep.
Not much that time around for Estep,
And on the stop was number 1,
as it brings up 3rd down and 1. So another short yardage situation. Last time Mesa just went with the bruisers. They ran it with Estep, the big body, and he was able to pick it up. He's kind of a hard guy to stop.
Similar situation to what we had a few plays earlier, excuse me.
Yeah, it's going to come down to relying on a couple of those big bodies at the front of the line like Malachi Fatu up on the right side. So they go with the sneak, fake snap up high, and they pick up the 1st down. Nice play design there that time from Mesa.
First and 10 from the 31.
Mesa starting to drive and look better in the run game offensively. They started from their own 9, have it out at the 31 with 7:30 to go in the first half, and they trail 21-0. Kelvin Holland in the backfield to give Estep a breather, and he goes nowhere. That time around, it looks like Josh Lee gets in on the stop, right on cue. I said some of those offensive line guys will be playing defense, and Lee answers the bell.
Yeah, Josh Lee, he's just a strong, big guy. This guy may be the strongest guy in the weight room besides Jamison Wade. Once he penetrates the gap, he is not moving. He plants his feet, he just stays there, plugs in the gaps. Really good on both sides of the ball.
5'10", 272, not something that I would want to mess with personally.
Absolutely not.
I don't think you and I together could take a double team against him.
No, sir. I'm 5'7", 150 pounds.
And I'm about $165, so if you do the math, we're almost there, but not enough on the technique side of things. 2nd down and 11. Reed rolls out, throws it, and Holland is swallowed up immediately. A big stop by the man with the pick 6, Jacob Redwing.
Making the stop was number 27, Jacob Redwing.
Rockmiller doing a great job keeping the outside leverage so that Reed doesn't get the outside, so he doesn't go off running and looking for an open receiver.
I think it's something that you see teams scheme against Red Mountain too. When you see Simon Lopez, how mobile he is, but he's a big threat with the arm as well. Just really hard to be able to contain there, but like you said, Rock does a great job that time around.
Absolutely.
Trips on the far side of the field as Reed awaits the snap from the gun. Blitz coming from the secondary. Not in time as Yamamoto able to pick it up and get out to the 40. Nice job by Adric Reed to stand in there and take a big hit from Logan Haney.
Gain of 9 brings the ball to the 40-yard line. 4th and 1 for the Jackrabbits.
Huge 4th down play. Blitzer went untouched for Red Mountain.
Yeah, Haney definitely got a good lick right in the midsection of Reed, so he felt that one for sure. 4th down and 1 last time in the short yardage. They snuck it. We'll see if they go hard count, and it looks like they try it, and they get Red Mountain to jump.
Encroachment called against Red Mountain. 5-yard penalty brings the ball to the 45-yard line. 1st and 10.
It's not always about running the play and what you can do. Sometimes it's the mind game, and that time around Reed able to get the hard count to work.
Oh, yeah, everybody sensed the QB sneak happening. Just everybody wanted to get a piece of the pie there.
And they got none of it. So the clock continues to wind. Mesa now out at their own 45 with 4:40 to go in the first half. And they're continuing this drive. Reed out of the gun. Takes a step back to the 45. Pass out of the backfield, and it's dropped that time around to Leon Agau. Just tried to get upfield before he had the ball.
2nd and 10.
Yeah, you said it right there. Part of the receiver, as a receiver, you got to maintain possession of that before going upfield. He just took his eyes off the ball for a split second, and that caused him to drop it.
After that drop, Rio Arnett checks into the game at running back, and a few other substitutions for Mesa. Ezekiel Estep comes back in as he's been kind of the bruiser of the back, and Arnett checks right back out. So a little bit of personnel confusion. They double sub there for Mesa, but they get everything sorted as the play clock winds down. Reed fakes it to Estep, and he's going to escape out of the pocket and have some room to work with. Dives out across the 50 after Red Wing gets down at the ankles and makes the stop.
Making a stop for Red Mountain was number 2, Anthony Gamba.
Third and short again. It's almost like the 3rd or 4th time in this drive where Mesa have looked to kind of punch something and convert, and they've continued to move the chains. But at this time, the clock is a little bit of a factor as they got to get another 47 yards in 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and they've been doing a lot on the ground, so it's going to continue to run.
If you're Mesa, this drive right here defines the entire game.
Fake to Yamamoto. Estep gets it, and he has room, gets into the secondary out across the 40. So now the front of Mesa coming to life. Ian Stevenson with the lead block that time around. He's been one of the guys that's highlighted in the offseason for this offensive front. The junior doing great work, 6'3", 305, and he's moving bodies.
1st and 10 for Mesa.
So Tealoa as well as Estep in the back, one of them a lead, and Estep set up behind Reed. Single coverage all the way at the top of your screen for Darius Howard. You wonder if they want to take a shot in the passing game.
Oh, my.
Just another run up the middle. The ball is loose. Chayton Jennings in on the stop. I'm not sure if the ground caused it or not, but Ngao was in on the recovery, even if the officials call it a fumble.
Yeah, they ruled him down before the fumble. And Mountain Lions, a lot of defensive backs making the run stops. Not exactly what you want to see from a defensive line standpoint.
And after doing a lot of work on the ground for Mesa, they take a timeout with the clock winding down. So they've used 2 now in this first half, and they have 2:38 to go. You feel like at this point in the game, down 21-0, you want 6 on the board as a result.
Oh, 100%. Keeps the game closer, gives Mesa a chance at coming back. And if you're Red Mountain, you want to social distance yourself from Mesa coming back.
What have you seen change between the first and second quarter in that in the run game for Mesa? Like you said, the front seven of Red Mountain winning early and often, but now it looks like Mesa have settled in a little bit and they're confident and comfortable running behind their big bodies.
Well, part of it is that chemistry with Adric Reed. He was forced into a situation that is hard for basically the entire Mesa team. I think they really just found a way to settle in, and they're just doing what Mesa does. They carry on.
That's the motto of the team. You see it plastered all over the track on the scoreboard, and they continue to fight on, carry on here as they break out of the timeout with 2:38 to go in the first half. They trail by 21. Large part of this drive has been the run game. It started from their own 9 after a block in the back on the kickoff. They've made it all the way out to Red Mountain's 26. Pass this time from Reed out of the backfield. Nice snag by Holland.
Pass is complete to number 14.
He scoots forward out towards the 23.
Good read. Low risk, low reward. It gets you a couple yards, and he gets out of bounds. It's a great play for Mesa. Sets him up great.
You kind of chunk it. You get 4 to move the chains, right? At this point, it's 4-down territory all evening for Mesa. It's kind of the way that they like to work through things, right? The run game's so efficient. They go for close to 3,000 yards on the ground last season and only 1,500 through the air. So it's the identity of this team. Estep gets moved to the right of Reed. Reed keeps it, uses him as a lead blocker, stumbles out of the backfield. Gets close to the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and 1 upcoming.
Gain of 5 brings them out of the 18-yard line. 3rd and 1.
Jarrell Hall checks out of the game. You get Yamamoto back in there on the near side of the field, and that single coverage isolation with Darius Howard still stays true at the top. They don't look that way this time as they go to Estep, and he picks up the first. And now down to the 15, red zone territory for Mesa as they look to punch it in to end this half and get some points on the board.
Gain of 3 brings the ball to the 15-yard line.
Less than 2 minutes remaining. You got to score a touchdown here. Field goals are not doing it.
Brandon Saddleoff checks back in on the left edge for Red Mountain as they try to mix things up to slow down this run attack from Mesa. Kelvin Holland in the backfield, a little check with me game as Reed looks to the sideline to figure out the play call and the adjustment. Fakes it and keeps it off to the right side. Shoved out of bounds, and a nice stop by Logan Haney. He's had his nose in a few tackles tonight. That's number 3 for him.
Red Mountain was number 28, Logan Haney. Gain of 2 brings the ball to the 13-yard line.
I think that's something that goes so underrated with the secondary of Red Mountain is the way that they can pursue the ball once they know where it's at, right? We know they're good as being ball hawks in the passing game, but in the rushing game, they can attack.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if there's a run play and it's headed to one of their sides, they just full-blown, everybody, go get them.
As the field tightens up, it becomes harder to push that ball forward. Mesa staring at 2nd and 8. Reed faces pressure, gets it out quick, and a great catch. Nice hands by Holland that time around. Haney was draped all over him.
Making the stop is number 28, Logan Haney.
Yeah, both Haneys actually have been in a lot of tackles in the first half.
One brings the ball to the 12-yard line. 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, under a minute for Mesa. They look for the hard count again. They don't get the flag. They go back to the sideline to check the play. And Reed is empty this time around in the backfield, but he does have the lead block of Ngao up in front of him. Not sure if there's miscommunication between the officials, players, clock.
Timeout.
Everything
Mesa.
winds down, and Mesa has to call a timeout, so that's their final one of the half. Something to keep a note on, because if they wanted to attempt a field goal here, they're going to have to rush that unit out, and it's kind of going to be a fire drill.
Yeah, Red Mountain, you got to plan for basically anything. It's like Goodwill, expect the unexpected.
Yeah, there hasn't been much in the passing game for Mesa, but you have to imagine they take a shot eventually. The last time they did on a third down in their own zone, it resulted in a pick six, but trying to get points on the board before the half. Red Mountain get the ball to start the second half, so you really want to capitalize on the opportunity here. What kind of adjustments are each side making right now at this stage in the game in this red zone situation for Mesa trying to punch it in, Red Mountain trying to stay perfect?
Honestly, if I were Mesa, the ground game is working. Red Mountain has not gotten a lot of good penetration aside from the first three drives. For Red Mountain, just get good penetration up front. Mesa's been running the ball a lot. They may look to throw the rock here a little bit in the second half, or they'll stick with the run game.
Reed gives it, and it's a pass after the run. Yamamoto can't bring it in. A little bit of trickery that time around from Mesa. They pull off the trick play as Kyler Moore came in motion, got the handoff, and Yamamoto was in the back of the end zone. He had an opportunity, but the throw just a little bit out of reach.
Yeah, great attempt by Yamamoto. Fortunately, wasn't able to hang on to it.
So it looks like Mesa will try to settle for 3 here as Romero comes out.
Watch out for the fake here.
On to attempt the field goal is number 88, Evan Romero.
29-yard attempt from Romero, the lefty upcoming. Good snap, good hold. Romero gets it up, and it's true. 21-3 with 26 seconds left in the first half, and we'll step away on RMTV. That drive from Mesa takes up a majority of the second quarter. They started at the 9 and they end it with a 29-yard field goal. As we'll see if Red Mountain try anything to end the half with just 26 seconds left on the clock.
Say just don't do anything too crazy. Just kind of kneel it out. Wait till the second half. We still got 2 quarters to play.
They'll take over from their own 20-yard line. First and 10.
Romero with the wind at his back sets that one through the end zone. And we'll see what Brian McDaniel and this offense want to do for Red Mountain, if they just elect to take a knee and get out, or see if they can make anything work. Still have all 3 timeouts if you're Red Mountain, so an opportunity for a few of those quick hitters. Simon Lopez, he can get it out fast. Talon Lamb set up in the backfield, his first action of the season for Red Mountain.
Simon Lopez.
A year ago, 210 yards and a touchdown for Lamb.
Wang.
Lopez goes with the Statue of Liberty and gives it to Lamb behind the back, and a little bit of trickery there. It's a nice little draw up there as Lamb picks up the first down.
Number 42, Ezekiel Estep. Gain of 13 brings the ball to the 30.
Yeah, they call this one. They call this one Wang. Everybody thinks it's a passing play, and they just don't see Lamb at all, essentially.
Yeah, it was kind of the inverse of a Statue of Liberty, where typically that play, Lopez would fake it with the right and leave the ball behind his left, and Lamb would come scoop it. That time, Lopez kind of fakes the run and puts it right on Lamb's back on the way back. 1st and 10, Lopez goes to the air this time around, and he finds Schmier on the inside. Andrew Schmier putting the shoulder down, and a first down out to the 50. Schmier stepping in at tight end this season for Red Mountain. Preston Heap was the guy a season ago, but Schmier, high hopes for him. Kyle Enders, when he was talking to me about him, he said, he's a dark horse, man. He's going to be an integral part of this offense. We're going to go to him. We're going to rely on him in the run game, blocking, and in the pass game. He shows what he can do after the catch out to the 49.
I stand corrected earlier. Red Mountain is looking to put the nail in the coffin before getting into halftime.
11 seconds left. Lopez back to Bodie Wagner. He'll work after the catch. Wagner gets tripped up and out across the 40. They take a timeout with 4 seconds left. So this is kind of what I talked about earlier. Brandon Gallegos is the big leg on this team. I don't know if he has enough from there. If they tried it from that point, it'd be close to 55 yards, I'd say. Yeah, it'd be exactly a 55-yarder if they wanted to trot Gallegos out for it, or some sort of short yardage hook and ladder, Hail Mary, whatever you want to attempt, because they've obviously been trying to get it into the end zone on this drive.
100%. You got 4.4 left on the clock. Maybe a quick out by Bodie Wagner or Arion Wyndham. Get Gallegos a little bit closer, then attempt the field goal. Oh, you got a lot of options if you're Kyle Enders.
It's fun to see everything implemented from the offseason and changing, and Brian McDaniel, what he can do with this offense. He drew up a lot of great plays last season with especially a lot of those short yardage conversion plays with Isaiah Savoy out of the Wildcat, everything he was able to do in the backfield, and we've already seen a little bit of that trickery come out tonight.
Yeah, the trickery with running back Isaiah Savoy, that really catapulted the Mountain Lions into the position they're in today.
Empty set for Lopez, 38-yard line. Takes the snap, rolls to it right. A deep shot towards the end zone. Jump ball is what we're looking for. B-Dubs almost has it, but Yamamoto swats it away, and that takes us to triple zeros on the clock. Red Mountain on top on the road in the season opener, 21-3, and we'll be back with second half action on RMTV. Welcome back to opening night on RMTV. Alongside Nate Smith, I'm Zach Warhack. A 21-3 start on the road for Red Mountain early, and they've been clicking on all cylinders. It started off with a 4-yard rushing touchdown from Jackson Bogle, the Mountain View transfer, and then a pick six for the man that you kind of called in pregame, Jacob Red Wing. You were talking to him prior to the game, had a little bit of insight, huh?
Yep, I said a little birdie told me that he was going to get a pick. I didn't know it was going to be a pick six. He didn't specify that for me.
He took it all the way to the house, and that's how we've gotten to this point. As for Mesa, they got a big drive going to end that half. They started on their own 9, ended with a 29-yard field goal, and then Red Mountain tried to get some points on the board with 26 seconds left. Unable to do so as the Hail Mary was knocked away by Griffin Yamamoto. Red Mountain set up to receive the kick to start the second half. All the way back and deep for them, Tyreek Cornett. Just a short kick and a fair catch called for and dropped and swallowed up. Sigh of relief there by Cole Edmonds. Probably didn't expect that one to come for him.
Well, Chad DeGrinner had his players come back to him and said, hey, guys, wait a minute. Let's think about this. So they decided not to kick it deep. They kicked a bit of a lob kick. Luckily, Cole Edmonds was able to hang on to it.
It almost worked in their favor as it was close to being an unfortunate mistake, but Edmonds with the heads-up play after he muffed it to just dive on it. And that starts Red Mountain with good field position as they have the ball at their own 33. Lopez looking at a two-back set.
They ran a QB option out of this one.
Wyndham goes in motion deep. The give to Bogle as he gets the legs cut out from under him. And a nice stop, and that gets the Mesa sideline riled up for Rio Arnett.
Picture perfect form by Arnett, upending Jackson Bogle.
Two brings the ball to the 35-yard line.
It's kind of how they teach it, isn't it?
Yep. No, for Arnett, he didn't wrap up or anything. He just led with his shoulder, and he just brought him down.
So a good start to the second half for Mesa on the defensive side of the ball, able to get in and stop the run early. Lopez plays the check with me game back to the sideline. He gets all the signals from Coach Reedy over there, resets, and is ready to lock and load. Lopez, quick pass near sideline. Cornett tries to step away, and Arnett in on another tackle.
Pass is complete to number 0, Tyreek Cornett.
And so was the quarterback playing safety for Mesa, Adric Reed.
Just a 7-yard curl by Cornett. Corner playing a little off there. It's a good chunk of yards, and it's 3rd and short.
3rd and 1 for Red Mountain.
You know, other than the off-season workouts and everything, we haven't really seen too much out of Tyreek Cornett, but I really like his game. He's nice on the defensive side of the ball, shifty, quick with it in his hands offensively.
Yeah, a bit of a sleeper pick. That's my sleeper pick for this Red Mountain Lions team.
Bogle up the middle enough to pick up the first down. 3rd and 1 turns into 1st and 10 as they get across the 45 and have it at the 47.
Making a stop for the Jackrabbits was number 42, Ezekiel.
Number 54, Jackson Griffin, bullied it.
As well as number 50,
looked like Arnett 10 yards past the first down marker. That's what you love to see as an offensive line coach.
Lopez goes empty this time, finds Paxton Thorstad. A step with the tackle, and he's played a really physical game, both in the run game on offense as well as defensively on the backside of the ball.
Thorstad, another good receiver for this very deep receiver core for the Mountain Lions. Solid season last year.
Up-tempo this time, Wyndham out of the backfield, and all it took was an arm of Yamamoto to slow him down.
Arian Wyndham. Making a stop was number 43, Zion Howard.
Yeah, it's funny just how tough it was to get on the field last season for this team with all those threats they had. Bodie Wagner, Gunnar Moore, Preston Heap on the inside, and Isaiah Savoy. Wasn't easy to crack the starting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Paxton Thorstad, really good third option for Simon Lopez. Just a hard worker all around.
Definitely has the opportunity to battle and be a number 2 this season. We've seen Andrew Schmier in the receiving game at the tight end position, but him and Wyndham both utilized heavily. 3rd down and short. Lopez fakes the give. Tries to take a deep shot over the top. Cornett has it! All the way to the Casa. 46 yards, Simon Lopez.
Touchdown pass is complete to number 0, Tyreek Cornett.
The New York kid with his first touchdown as an Arizonan. Welcome to Red Mountain, Tyreek Cornett. The flag route.
Number 12, Michael Singh.
Just a perfect route by Tyreek Cornett. Simon sees it right away.
Really great job by Lopez staying in there, because after the play fake, it looked like he just wanted to go to Schmier underneath, but that was covered, had Cornett over the top. They take the deep shot, and they get it to work out. Singh perfect on extra points, 28-3, 8:54 left in the third quarter, and we'll step away on RMTV.
Red Mountain 28, Mesa 3. Remember, fans, the concession stands on both sides of the field are open. On the home side, you can also visit Kona Ice, as well as Happy Time at Kettle Corn. They appreciate your patronage.
Red Mountain off to a hot start in the second half. They get the first possession. It takes just over 3 minutes, and they go for 6. Tyreek Cornett with the 46-yard touchdown reception and a connection with Simon Lopez, who's got one on the ground and that one through the air tonight. Gallegos, shorter kick than we've seen and a little bit of a mishap on the return, but Holland able to scoop it up, get out across the 20, and that will set up the drive for Mesa. The run game was really effective in the back half of the first half for them. We'll see if they go back to that kind of combination of the bruiser with Estep and then Holland for more of the speed.
Going to be interesting to see who Mesa puts in for the running plays. I mean, you have Estep also doing a great job. You know, they're really deep in that running back position.
Return brings the ball to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Jackrabbits.
And the Jackrabbits, you just stick to the run game. Maybe go for a few passes here and there to keep the Red Mountain DBs on their toes. O-line has to get a push. Defensive line has to get some type of penetration. Otherwise, Red Mountain's defensive line has just been playing lights out.
Certainly have, with just a 3-man front, and Reed goes with the jet sweep to Holland, looks to cut it back.
Great play.
And he has nowhere to go, and Isaac Haney makes his impact on the game.
Number 14, Kelvin Holland. Making the stop is number 15, Isaac Haney.
Just another great tackle from one of those big-time DBs for Red Mountain.
2nd and 14.
It's a loss of 4 on first down as we track under the 8-minute mark, as Mesa look to continue to go to the ground game. Reed goes through the air this time and connects on the near sideline. First time we've called the name on a reception for Darius Howard. He's been mentioned plenty of times. He's been matched up just in single coverage with no real shade over the top, and that's the first time they hook up with him tonight.
Yeah, corner's playing off there. Safe route combination, just a 5-yard curl. It just gets you a bit closer to the first down marker. So it's 3rd and manageable for the Jackrabbits.
Reed takes it, goes play action, faces pressure, hit as he throws, and that one's picked off. Chayton Jennings, get you some.
Pass is intercepted by number 18, Chayton Jennings.
Chayton Jennings, also another young guy, came in for James Krieger near the end of the season. Had a lot of development under James Krieger and defensive backs coach Mike Runge. He's in great hands. I think this year and next year, the sky's the limit for the kid.
I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with the ability to continue saying that name for the next 2 years. We talk about Champ Jennings, his brother, being a huge part of that linebacking core a season ago, seeking that tackle record from the position, and now younger brother carrying the skill set into the secondary for Red Mountain. The turnover gives the ball, and they take it with 7:22 left in the third. Lopez takes a shot early down the sideline, and it's snagged, hauled in, tiptoeing his way through, out of bounds. Andrew Schmier with the big fingertip catch.
Andrew Schmier.
What a shot and catch from Simon Lopez. Puts it in the perfect spot, and Schmier goes out and gets it.
1st and 10 for Red Mountain.
What a grab. He had to stretch out for that one, but regardless, that was a great grab by Andrew Schmier.
Simon Lopez.
Pinkies together over the shoulder. That's exactly what Coach Hernandez taught you.
Red Mountain keeping the foot on the gas despite the 28-3 lead in this one. Lopez gives to Bogle as he fights up the middle. Estep tries to drag him down, eventually brings him to the ground at the 9.
Making a stop for Mesa was number 42, Ezekiel Estep. Gain of 6 brings the ball.
There's another two-way player, Ezekiel Estep.
2nd and 4.
Running back and linebacker, along with Adric Reed, quarterback and safety, Griffin Yamamoto as well.
Kai Jackson now getting his first action of the game in at running back to replace Bogle for Red Mountain. Lopez fakes to Jackson, evades the blitz, and now has a little bit of work to do. Flings it out of bounds, and the mobility of Simon Lopez coming in handy at that point in time.
Tanea Roberts to the press box. Tanea Roberts to the press box.
3rd down and 4 upcoming for Red Mountain, just inside the 10. Nice pressure on the previous play off the right edge there from Mesa. Andrew Steiner able to get in and force Lopez to throw it out of bounds.
Even with contain, Lopez just outruns him.
Just about halfway through the 3rd, Red Mountain lead 28-3. Lopez with the give up the middle, nowhere to go as Yamamoto in from the secondary to make the stop.
33, Vinny Coffey. On the stop for Mesa was number 2, Cameron Williams.
Vinny Coffey didn't have a lot of room to work with out of the backfield that time, and it looks like the offense stays on here. 4th and short for Red Mountain, and it's go zone.
4th and 3.
Coffey on his high horse to get off the field and sub out on the far side. Cornett in the side, bottom of the screen rather, and Jackson in the backfield.
They're going to go on 2 or, yep. Try to get him to jump.
Yeah, looks like a timeout by Red Mountain. We'll see if the special teams unit comes from it. If you're in the head seat right now, what do? You look to keep your foot on the gas here and go for the score if you punch it in from inside the 10, or are you looking to just add points to the board and extend the lead with the field goal?
Honestly, Kyle Enders, he wants to put points on the board. He wants to really drive this thing home. Just keep the foot on the gas, pedal to the metal. Mesa, you're looking to get a turnover here. Attack the ball, get maybe a pick if Simon Lopez does roll out and get a pass off. Jackson Bogle, he's been really strong. His grip on the ball is very strong. I don't see him fumbling.
Even if they don't force the traditional turnover, they get it on downs if they keep them shy of 4. You know, that's what Red Mountain need to pick it up. But it's just kind of a statement to start the season. Knock the cobwebs off, get the first one under your belt. There's a long journey ahead. Red Mountain, they're kind of notorious for trying to play that difficult schedule, and they look to do it again. So up to Valley Vista on the road next week, and then it starts with that league play, Desert Ridge, big game. Then Downey, a team traveling in from California. Then you see Williamsfield on the road, Highland, and the big one I have circled on the calendar. They get Hamilton at home this season rather than on the road where they were just a year ago.
Yeah, Hamilton, they're a very young team, but they beat Centennial, so that means theoretically they can beat anybody.
Always a prominent squad in Arizona high school football. Lopez on 4th down here, returning from the timeout. Fakes it to Jackson, keeps it himself. Lopez lowers the shoulder, and he has enough to pick up the first down. A little bit extra there from Simon Lopez. He let Adric Reed know that he got it, lowered the boomstick, gave the first down signal.
It's like quarterback on quarterback. Usually for the first day of pads, they like running the gauntlet. Normally at the end of the gauntlet, you have quarterback versus quarterback, maybe receiver versus receiver, corner versus corner. Very rare QB versus QB matchup right there.
I've always just found it phenomenal how these guys can go both ways.
Yeah, you do not see that a lot. Latest example is college. Travis Hunter, he's playing receiver and cornerback. Did great last night or a couple nights ago with the Buffaloes.
Free run up the middle, and Jackson gets into the end zone. 6 more on the board for Red Mountain as they're spreading the wealth. Kai Jackson, his first in of the season, and everyone's getting their hand in the work for Red Mountain.
On to attempt the extra point is number 12, Michael Singh.
Extra point for Singh. He's been perfect so far tonight as he looks to extend the lead to 35-3 with 4:48 left in the 3rd. Up and through, he stays true.
And the kick is good.
And another big drive for Red Mountain. They have been perfect tonight. and they lead 35-3 on RMTV.
Mesa 3. Once again, will sophomore Danae Roberts please report to the press box? Danae Roberts, we have your keys in the press box. For Red Mountain at number 46, Brandon Gallegos. Team for Mesa is number 2, Cameron Williams, as well as number 14, Kelvin Holland.
It's been 5 different scorers tonight for Red Mountain as they have spread the wealth, one of them defensively, but just showing how efficient and lethal they can be.
Every dog gets a bone tonight.
This kick return comes up across the 20 out towards the 25. It'll be the best field position for Mesa tonight to start a drive.
Making the stop was number 27, Jacob Redwing.
Despite them trying to work out the kinks and go to the run game frequently, I've kind of liked the quick passes and intermediate routes that they've been running, getting it fast to the outside, working after the catch, despite Red Mountain kind of leaning towards the run because they know backup quarterback in, that's probably going to be the game plan.
Yeah, most of Mesa's pass completions really come on them 5 to 10 yard stopping routes. Corners may need to play up a little bit closer to the receiver.
Rio Arnett in the backfield to start this drive for Mesa. They fake to him, and there's the quick pass to the outside. Yamamoto with a quick shift, breaks a couple of tackles and picks up the first down. Nifty moves from Griffin Yamamoto.
There, just like I said, a 9-yard stopping route, and Yamamoto just carries it the rest of the way. First down, Jackrabbits.
He's been a really good player for this team, a senior this year. I know he was behind Jeroy Hardwick, one of the receiving leaders for this team last season with 4 touchdowns, but Yamamoto, no slouch. He actually led the team in yards, but just 2 touchdowns through the air last season. Handoff this time as Arnett gets swallowed up, and there's that penetration by Jamison Wade as he flexes to the sideline.
Give us to number 18.
Yeah, Jamison Wade, number 13, very easy to spot. The cowboy neck collar kind of gives it away.
Making the tackle was number 25, Zach Whitney.
Otherwise, a great leader. Great leader on and off the field.
Yeah, one of those pure linebackers, and I'm excited to see what he can do in the pass rushing game this season when they get an opportunity. When you let the dog loose, he gets after the QB. 20th in sacks in the state of Arizona just a season ago.
Yeah, even if you just look at Jamison Wade, you're like, dang, yep, that's a linebacker right there. He makes a lot of plays in the backfield.
He plays with malicious intent. This time the pass to the near sideline incomplete. Darius Howard, the intended target, unable to come up with it. But there's just no stop when you come to talking about Jamison Wade. I mean, it's 100 miles an hour every play, not afraid to get in there, doesn't shy away from contact, and it's just something you love to see.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys he's been starting on varsity since he was a freshman. I don't think he's played a single rep of JV or freshman football. He's just that talented to this team. Great addition, great addition.
3rd down and 9 for Mesa as they have to reach the 46. Reed rolls out to his left. Yamamoto gets it, only makes it to the 40. And we'll see what the Greener decides to do if he wants to go for it. Down 35-3, I don't see a reason why not.
4th and 6.
Go big or go home.
They need 6 to pick it up. The short yardage passing plays have been efficient. It just depends what they can get after the catch. Yamamoto's been efficient on this drive. And they've also looked at Darius Howard a time or two. Blitz comes up the middle. Reed escapes it for a second, not for long. Ultimately brought down right at the line by Cole Edmonds. Initially it was Haney to get in, and Edmonds finished it off.
Haney shot out of a cannon. Went straight through either the B or C gap.
35-yard line.
You knew Enders was going to draw up pressure there.
100%.
He's not going to sit back. He's not going to play coverage. He's not going to wait for the ball to come to him. He's going to go and get it. Reed, elusive on Haney, made the first miss, but then Edmonds there to follow it up.
Yeah, Edmonds played the cleanup crew on that one. Haney set him up great, got the quarterback stumbling a little bit.
So Red Mountain take over at the 35. Lamb motions out of the backfield, and a shot over the top, wide open, and a touchdown for Andrew Schmear. The wild card tight end gets his name on the score sheet.
Another dog gets a bone. Simon Lopez throws the blur ball to Andrew Schmear. And there was nobody within 10 yards of Andrew Schmear. Lopez just puts a little bit of touch on it. And another Red Mountain touchdown.
This one's going to be difficult to spit out, but I'm going to try to give you the drive recap there. One play, 35 yards, Andrew Schmear touchdown.
Short, simple, quick to the point.
And the extra point up and through, 42-3 the score as Red Mountain rolling on opening night on the road.
16 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Red Mountain 42, Mesa 3.
It's 2 weeks. Wow.
Team for the Jackrabbits is number 2.
3:16 to go in the third on RMTV. Red Mountain lead 42-3. What'd you see on that last touchdown play there to Andrew Schmear for the 35-yarder, Nate?
Well, the weak side safety is playing both middle and the near hash. I don't know if he just didn't see Schmear blow right by the linebacker, but the linebacker should get a piece of Andrew Schmear to help the safety out. He just doesn't touch him.
Free run into the end zone and a little bit of confusion on the kick return. All the damage able to be mitigated as Cameron Williams scoops it up. It looked like there was almost a little tap back to him from his teammate. Kind of a funky sight there. But Mesa looked to come out for the drive and get an opportunity to put some points on the board. Just looking for positivity at this point and being able to hang your hat on something, go into practice this week with a positive attitude and able to regroup and look forward to the following week. I'm not saying that miracle comebacks can't happen, but 42-3, just a really large deficit with only 15 minutes left to go in this one.
Well, you got to play till there's 3 zeros on the clock. The game doesn't end in the third quarter; it ends after the fourth quarter.
Reed with a keeper, cuts it back up the middle, and a nice positive gain on first down. He chews off 7. I think it brings me back to the game against Desert Ridge last year where Red Mountain, they came out rolling. They got out to a 28-7 start, and then after that, Desert Ridge just kind of clawed their way back in, and it went down to the finish line where they had an opportunity to win it over Red Mountain at the 3-yard line, goal line stop to end the game.
Yeah, in those types of situations, you got to really just keep the foot on the gas, pedal to the middle, play till the final whistle blows. I mean, those types of games are hard to come by. Just got to keep fighting, keep playing, play hard, that's all.
Mesa continue to do so here. They carry on, and it's a gain of 2, makes it 3rd and 1 from their own 29.
Dominic Nixon.
Kelvin Holland checks out of the game, comes to the sideline. Yamamoto all the way at the top of the screen, Darius Howard at the bottom. Isolated up against Isaac Haney. Reed takes the snap, goes up the middle. Arnett able to power through and pick up the first down. Good work in the run game, the trenches there for Mesa.
Trench is getting their hard money's earned.
A really talented offensive line. They produce time and time again. Ian Stevenson, a junior this season, doing great work there. And then you round it out with Malachi Fetu. Just big bodies that can kind of move stuff. And then on the back side of things, you work defensively with a few guys who can check in on offense. It's just versatility all the way through and through with this line. Pitch up this time, and there's the ankle bite from the safety. I love seeing one of those tacos from Jacob Red Wing. It's not always the biggest hit, not always the highest hit. Sometimes you just got to grab the ankles, bring them down.
You know what? Whatever it takes, man. A tackle is a tackle.
Brings the ball to the 32-yard line.
As long as you bring the guy down, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I call that one the Juan Geraldo. One of the players, he was a good safety at Mesquite High School back in my high school days. Went on to play at Eastern Michigan. That was his go-to. He was either going to bite your ankles or target.
It's one of the other.
Good work in the run game from Mesa this time around. A handoff up the middle as Rio Arnett continues to be integral. Comes up limping a little bit, but he checks back into the huddle. What have you liked out of the three backs tonight for Mesa? We've seen Arnett, we've seen Estep, and then we've seen Holland kind of check in there as well. The combination of power and speed between the three of them.
You know, a good combination of speed and power, smash and dash. You look at former teams like Eddie George and Marion Barber, the Tennessee Titans. They make it work. Mesa's one of those teams that makes it work. And in a division like the Fiesta region, you know, this could be a team that may gets a low seed in the playoffs. You know, play spoiler once again, just like a few years back. But they can make it work. They can make it work. It's just it's a tough challenge facing Red Mountain tonight.
Yeah, they pick up the first down there. It's a good run by Reed, but you talk about what they did just a season ago. They kind of battled through that middle portion of the schedule. They started off with that loss 41-7 to Red Mountain in week 1. Then they get a dub against Valley Vista, Skyline, and Dobson for 3 straight. Tough matchup against Hamilton, and then they go on to win again against Tolleson. So a little bit of back and forth action in the front half of the season for them. And I think it's something where it's going to be a tough stretch to start the season for them. They got to go travel and see Basha, which is one of the toughest matchups in the state of Arizona. But opportunities always arise.
100%. And if you're trying to get into the playoffs, people are looking at wins and they're looking at who you lost to. And I think Mesa, they can get into the playoffs by losing to some great teams like Red Mountain, Basha. You know, if they can just win the region games, that's a really big factor.
I think that's one of the funniest things that we saw with this Red Mountain team who made it all the way to the 6A state championship last year is the strength of schedule played a huge factor. They played the powerhouses like ALA Queen Creek. They fought against Hamilton, and it was that strength of schedule, even with losing some of those games, keeping them close and winning the ones that they were supposed to. They battled in, took a late seed, took down Pinnacle, took down Brophy, made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I got to say, once you hit the playoffs, everything resets. Everything is 0-0. You guys all are on the same playing field. Record doesn't matter. It's just seeding. And you just go out and play football. It's like any other game. You just play hard.
Reed looking to take a deep shot to start the fourth quarter. Yamamoto over the middle, and he finds the gap in that secondary of Red Mountain. Chayton Jennings makes the stop, but not before a big gain. There is a flag deep in the backfield. We'll see if this gets negated. That's kind of the spark plug play that Mesa needed to start this end of the second half and fourth quarter, but it looks like it's coming back.
Face mask called against Mesa.
Crushing penalty for Mesa.
Offensive face mask is the call, and never one that you like to see. As Yamamoto was streaking, able to make the grab on the deep play. But looking forward, we talk about it. They start at home tonight, and then it's the road for Mesa. They go to Basha, they go to Skyline, then they come back home for a 2-game stretch to take on Dobson and Castile, and that takes us to the end of September for them.
1st and 10.
Yeah, tough first 2 games for Mesa. You got Red Mountain and Bash up back-to-back. But you're gonna you get a little bit of a break with Skyline and Dobson. I think Mesa will bounce back to round 2 and 2 there.
Yamamoto with a shoelace grab and a nice pickup. A lot of that penalty yardage and some taken back as he crosses midfield.
Number 3, Griffin Yamamoto. Making a stop with number 2, Anthony Gamba.
Anthony Gamba, another one of those varsity players from last year.
So Mesa go up tempo now. Reed fakes it, swings it out of the backfield, and a nice closeout. And a tackle made by Gamba back to back. He's getting his nose in the action after Hall makes the catch.
Number 2, Anthony Gamba.
Third down and 5 upcoming. It's really fun to see Enders not following doctor's orders right now. He tore that bicep in the offseason while weightlifting. He has it in a sling. He's barking commands at the defense. The arm's not in the sling. I don't even know why he has it. It's just attire at this point. It's fashion.
He's playing mind games.
Reed looks back to the sideline to get the call here. Fakes the give and then goes to it. Estep gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that brings up 4th and 5.
42, Ezekiel Estep.
Got the backups checking into the game now. Bjorn Molinar, 81. He plays center. He's on the basketball team.
Fourth and 4.
Big body. You stuck your nose in a lot of those basketball broadcasts a season ago. What kind of player is Bjorn on the court?
Bjorn, you know, he can dunk. I can 100% tell you that. He's a tough physical player. I mean, leader to the guys. Very tall, I got to say that. Very easy to point out with long locks of blonde hair. Looks like a Viking.
I think the height plays a factor in basketball. I don't know what the intimidation factor of the Viking is, though. 4th and 5 upcoming for Mesa. Empty set for Reed. Goes with the hard count. Everyone stays true on the side of Red Mountain.
Height plays a factor on the defensive line. You can get your hand up in there, get a piece of the ball, maybe bat it down, tip it. Some cases get an interception.
If it goes that way, Kelvin Holland will be the intended target. Reed back to pass, looking to evade the blitz. Forced out of bounds. And a nice play, good pursuit from the line that time. You don't see that too often, but Brandon Saddleoff with the chase down.
Red Mountain will take over on downs from their own 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mountain Lions.
You're doing something right with the pass rush when you get there with a 3-man front.
Yep, 100%. Defensive line's been doing a great job all night.
Yeah, well-conditioned, following their assignments in the run game, playing well at the pass rush, and they force the turnover on downs, and Red Mountain take over from the Mesa 49. Last drive for them, it was just one and done, the 35-yard touchdown to Andrew Schmier. And Simon Lopez checks out of the game now, and Hayden Lyons-Jones in at quarterback, the senior for Red Mountain, as Haven looks to take his first snap. But a timeout taken by Red Mountain prior to. So it's a 42-3 lead. And upcoming, looking at the following week, what do you got for a scouting report when you look at a team that they have to face in Valley Vista on the road, especially in their house?
Well, Valley Vista, they're coming off of a 45-6 loss at home to Mountain Point, one of those other 7-on-7 schools that just does well in that category. Valley Vista, if you're the Monsoon, you're looking to at least put up a fight. You got to put up a fight, and by week 3 you have everything dialed in. You could compete in your division, and that's really where it matters most. Getting wins in the division is crucial to getting into the postseason.
Mountain Point, a good squad. They put out some good wide receivers. One of the NAU greats, Emmanuel Butler, breaking a lot of records out there. He had a short stint with the Saints in the NFL. All the best to E-Butt. It was fun covering him in college, I'll tell you what. Big body receiver, almost like in college size-wise, he looked like a DK Metcalf is what it felt like watching him compete on the field.
DK Metcalf got to be the hardest body to bring down.
Good product. Lyons-Jones looks over the middle and the strike.
Great catch.
What a connection as he finds Arian Wyndham across the middle of the field.
Making the stop for the Jackrabbits was number 8, Edric Reed.
And Lyon-Jones commanding this offense, up-tempo, getting everyone in their positions. After a nice strike, continues to get things going.
Just a deep dig by Wyndham. And Lyons-Jones just throws a bullet right over the linebackers.
Talon Lamb with the quick pass, Yamamoto with the force out. Yamamoto has been quick in ball pursuit in the secondary.
Quick in pursuit, and he is a hard worker playing offense and defense.
The substitutions continue to roll through for Red Mountain as they get deep. Jay Williams, the sophomore, checks in at receiver. As you also see Justin Kolyar. Vinny Coffey back in the running back position to the right of Lyon-Jones. Steps out for a route. Lyon-Jones rolls out that way, almost loses the ball to a strip and pushes it forward. Dangerous control there, working with the juke, but able to hang on. Mesa player down on the field, and we'll step away for a quick timeout here on RMTV. Good to see Alex Jamison get off the field under his own power for Mesa. Big part of that line, and looks like he will be okay to continue on. So maybe just some cramping or something after the play. Always great to see someone come back from an injury and nothing too serious. 3rd down and 6 for Red Mountain, empty set. Lyon-Jones faces the pressure, gets it off quick, and it's intercepted. Estep with the pick, and Estep trying to take it all the way back to the house. Does he have enough gas? He does. It's a pick 6 for Estep.
Lyons-Jones looking over the middle. He was looking for, I believe, Collier and Estep. Takes it to the house for a pick 6. And Mesa with their first touchdown.
That's the building block for the following weeks to come, right? Good play, stay at home. Estep able to power through, get all the way into the end zone. Kind of an anomaly for both teams to have a pick 6 in the same game.
The extra point is number 88.
Estep gets it for Mesa. And on the other side of things, Jacob Red Wing with the pick 6 early on in the game for Red Mountain.
And Mesa, you're feeling good, got adrenaline. got some of that good mojo back.
Extra point up and through.
And the kick is good.
And 42-10 the score. Red Mountain will try it again following the kick return, but yeah, just something positive to hang your hat on for Mesa. I think at this point, with clock management and everything coming in as a factor, it's probably too little too late to mount a comeback. But regardless, a good defensive stop and a nice play.
Lyons Jones looking for number 85, Jay Williams. E-step, just sees it. Picks up the phone, house call.
S-step has been an integral part of this team. Just a sophomore last year, came up with 80 tackles on the season, averaged 8 a game, 3.5 for loss. So definitely kind of a staple of this defense moving forward. I talked about all the graduates earlier on in the broadcast that Mesa had from a season ago. Not only do they lose a lot of guys on the offensive side of the ball, but some of them played defensively as well, where you lose Makai Peters, Josiah Fricks, and the big one is Nate Rodarte. Rodarte vacated 140 tackles on the season for Mesa, graduated, out now in the onside kick.
Onside kick is recovered by number 8.
The big attempt.
Thorstad.
Not enough as Red Mountain ready for it.
From midfield.
Yeah, the kickoff return unit for Red Mountain lined up very close to the 50. They really expected an onside kick there. I really didn't see Mesa going anywhere else other than short with the onside kick.
Ball spotted right at midfield, and just under 6.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Lyon Jones back out onto the field. This time Lamb with the carry. Right side, Lamb burst to speed, close to a first down. It depends on the spot, but a nice run by Talon Lamb.
Give us to number 30, Talon Lamb.
Yeah, Talon Lamb, I believe he came here from Betty H. Fairfax. Played a few games there, transferred to Red Mountain his sophomore campaign. He's been a really great guy.
Yeah, helped in finding that that running back room for Red Mountain last season. It kind of started with George Perkins, Carson Mauder, and then flip up Talon Lamb a little bit as well. This time pass behind the line of scrimmage. Who else but Griffin Yamamoto in on the tackle. Williams unable to escape.
Griffin Yamamoto.
Yamamoto all over the place tonight.
Loss of 4 brings the ball to the 45-yard line. 3rd and 5 for Red Mountain.
7 tackles for Yamamoto on the evening, as he's been flying around on the defensive side of the ball. 3rd down and 5 upcoming, 5:15 to go in the fourth. Red Mountain not in a hurry to get this snap off. Lyon Jones gives up the middle. Vinny Coffey with the carry and enough for a first down.
Making a stop for Mesa was number 61, Jason Morris.
Really just gives you an opportunity to see the depth and find what you have with your backups on this team, right? And I think that a lot of these guys for Red Mountain have impressed tonight. Coffey's been one of them. He's had a burst every time he's touched the ball.
Yeah, Coffey's just one of those guys that goes 0 to 60, just like that. High motor player, along with Talon Lamb. He's got afterburners too.
Another give up the middle. Coffey, it almost looked like a little bit of a struggle with the exchange, but able to fight forward for a gain of 3.
33 of Vinny Coffey. Making a stop for Mesa was number 16, Gabe.
I think what's most impressive about the offense is just the amount of threats that you have when it comes to weapons, right? Every single touchdown scorer, a different player tonight for Red Mountain, no repeats.
Yeah, aside from Andrew Schmier, basically everybody on the offense got a touchdown. Skill position-wise. Bogle got one. Simon Lopez had one.
Kai Jackson get on the action. The long one to Schmier. Jackson with the carry this time around. Then you had the long one to Cornett for 46.
Cornett, yeah.
Handoff is to number 9, Kai Jackson.
Very efficient. I think Brian McDaniel is going to be real happy with what his offense has done tonight.
1st and 10 from the 29.
Most definitely. I think it's going to carry over to the Valley Vista game.
Jackson lowers the shoulder back over the middle again, and another big pickup, a gain of 8.
I can see Kai Jackson having a starting role
Gain of 7 brings the ball to the
after this
22-yard
season.
line.
Really impressed.
2nd and 3.
Coffee with the carry, this time up the middle, and it's chunk play after chunk play in the run game for Red Mountain. They continue to move the sticks and the clock. Under 3 minutes now in the 4th.
1st and 10 from the Jackrabbit 16-yard line.
Less than 3 to go. I think it's going to be mostly run plays from here on out.
Lion Jones sets up, looks back, turns, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 for Vinny Coffey. Bulldozing, almost fighting into the end zone. As Coffey makes his way down to the 3.
Mesa was number 21, Ruben Schroeder.
He wants it. He wants it.
Can Coffey be the 7th touchdown getter tonight for Red Mountain? Well, it's called back, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get through there.
Penalty moves the ball back to the 26-yard line.
Penalty on the line in the blocking game. I'm not sure what it was, if it was a hold, chop block, something on the outside. Looked like there might have been a little bit of extracurricular
1st and 20
on the near side of the field from Arian Wyndham, a little bit of a hold pinned down on the ground. Straight back to the ground, Coffey picks up a couple. And Red Mountain, they'll have to get all the way down to the 7 to pick up a first.
Yeah, with less than 130, I think they're just going to take it easy. Or maybe not, they're going to run a few more plays.
I think the mission, there's no intent to get into the end zone. If it happens, it happens, but just keep chunking and winding that clock down.
Absolutely.
Well, I spoke too soon. Lion Jones with the pass over the middle, deflected up into the air. And with a shot like that, it looks like Red Mountain is looking to score. Cameron Williams in on the pass breakup.
Williams.
Intended for it looked like Jay Williams.
3rd and 15.
45 seconds left in the 4th as this one wraps up. 3rd down and 15 for Red Mountain. Lion Jones sets things up, and we'll see what the call is from McDaniel. Low snap, good give. Coffey up the middle, not enough for a first, and it'll bring up 4th down with under 30 seconds to go. And I think Red Mountain can just run this one out, set up in the formation, and let the clock strike 0 and start the season 1-0. For 2 years in a row, they took on Mesa to start the season last year. 41-7 the final in that one. Tonight, 42-10 looks to be the final scoreline. Lion Jones backs things up, just runs forward and fumbles that one, coughs it up, and the clock hits zeros. I think Lion Jones just trying to kill it there. But the final scoreline has set 42-10. The final here at Mesa High School, just a statement victory for Red Mountain to start the season.
Yeah, they really got things going tonight. And next week against Valley Vista, you know, bit of a long drive, almost an hour away. But I think they're going to get off the bus the same way. They're going to get off, play hard, play fast, just play Red Mountain football. I mean, that's the ultimate goal here. To play it 1 week at a time. Great job by the boys in Cardinal and Black here tonight.
I'm just happy that we have football season back.
Yes,
Feels good
sir.
to get the first one under the belt. Big game and a big win on the road for Red Mountain tonight. They start the season 1-0, Mesa 0-1. When we look into our RMTV players of the game, who do you got, Nate?
You know what? You got to give it to either Jamison Wade or Simon Lopez. I mean, those two just really dominated the entire night. And just a little bit of a sleeper here. I'm gonna throw in Jackson Bogle in there too. Really pounding the rock. Contact, first guy he's able to pick up basically 4 to 5 yards a pop. Get the 3rd and short calls. Get the goal-to-go situations going for this offense. And honestly, the MVPs, I got to give it to the defensive line. They also dominated. Jamison Wade commanding, Junior Nixon also out there, Rock Miller commanding the field as well. A lot of guys you could point out in this statement win tonight.
I'm in, and I'm going to take one from each side. I think Griffin Yamamoto played a great game for Mesa on both sides of the ball. Made a few big catches on the offensive side of things, 7 tackles to end the night, and he was physical and fast in the secondary. On the side of Red Mountain, offensively, I got to go with Simon Lopez. Involved in a rushing touchdown, a couple deep balls. His vision looked great tonight. The arm looked really good. Keeping him healthy is going to be super important. I like on the defensive side to give it the guy with the pick 6. Jacob Red Wing, my guy on the defensive side of the ball for Red Mountain. But other than that, we will be back with you a week from today for the game against Valley Vista on the road September 6th. We appreciate everyone for tuning in for our student production team at RMTV. We thank you all very much and have a great night. For Nate Smith, I'm Zach Warhack. We'll see you next week.